The frozen wind cut through Kai's heavy coat as he stepped off the shuttle onto the icy surface of Frostoria. The planet stretched endlessly in all directions, a vast white landscape broken only by jagged ice formations that glimmered in the weak sun. Every step he took sank slightly into the thick snow, leaving a trail behind him that the wind quickly erased. He tightened his scarf around his neck and pulled his hood over his head, taking in the alien world with a mixture of awe and nervous anticipation. Frostoria was unlike any planet Kai had ever seen. The air was crisp, almost painfully sharp, and each breath formed clouds that vanished quickly in the cold. The research colony was a collection of sleek, crystalline structures that reflected the icy light, giving the settlement an otherworldly glow. Humans were rare here, and Kai felt the weight of his uniqueness. He had been sent not just for his engineering skills, but because humans were known for their persistence, their ability to adapt to harsh conditions. As he walked toward the main colony, Kai noticed movement near one of the larger buildings. A figure approached him, moving with graceful precision across the ice. The being had pale blue skin that shimmered faintly in the sunlight, and eyes that glowed like tiny sapphires. Kai stopped in his tracks, unsure whether he should bow or simply greet them. "You must be Kai," the alien said, her voice soft but clear. "I am Zara. I am in charge of the crystal research here." Kai nodded, trying to hide his unease. "Yes. I'm here to help with the energy systems and the equipment. It's beautiful here." He gestured to the sparkling ice around them, but words felt small against the vastness of the landscape. Zara's eyes tilted slightly, a gesture that seemed to indicate curiosity. "Humans survive in such cold?" she asked. There was no judgment in her tone, only genuine wonder. Kai smiled faintly. "We do, in our own ways. It's not easy, but we try to adapt. I guess that's why I'm here." She nodded and led him into the main building. Inside, the warmth hit him like a wave. The interior was sleek, with translucent walls that revealed the sparkling ice outside. Strange devices hummed softly, and energy pulses ran through the crystal cores embedded in the walls. Other aliens worked at stations, adjusting machines and recording data. They moved with calm precision, almost as if the cold outside had no effect on them. Kai felt slightly out of place, but he reminded himself that humans had solved far stranger problems than this. He followed Zara to a central hub where a large crystal glowed faintly, suspended in a field of shimmering energy. "This is our primary crystal," Zara explained. "It provides energy, but it is unstable. That is why we need human ingenuity." Kai knelt near the crystal, examining the setup. "I can reinforce the stabilizers and create a feedback system. It might help the crystal adjust to sudden energy spikes." Zara's eyes widened slightly. "You think in ways we do not. Humans, they have a unique approach." Kai shrugged, brushing snow from his coat. "We learn by doing. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but we keep trying." The two worked together through the day, adjusting the systems and watching the crystal respond. Kai noticed something strange. The crystal seemed to pulse more brightly whenever he and Zara made a joint decision. It was subtle, almost imperceptible, but the energy field vibrated slightly with each small success. By the time the dim sun began to set, casting long blue shadows across the ice, Kai felt a sense of connection not just to the crystal, but to the alien scientist beside him. There was admiration in Zara's eyes, not just for his skill, but for his determination, his willingness to face discomfort and danger without complaint. Kai, in turn, found himself fascinated by her intelligence and calm confidence, qualities he had never seen in a human colleague. Outside, the wind howled again, reminding them both of the harshness of Frostoria. Kai zipped up his coat and stepped to the edge of the building, watching the snow swirl in intricate patterns. "It's beautiful," he said softly. "But dangerous too." Zara joined him, her pale blue skin glowing faintly in the fading light. "Yes," she said. "But sometimes, beauty and danger exist together. It is in such places that we learn who we truly are." Kai nodded, feeling a shiver that was not entirely from the cold. He didn't fully understand what the future held on this frozen planet, but he knew one thing clearly: survival alone would not be enough. Here, on Frostoria, determination, courage, and the small spark of desire to explore would be what defined him and perhaps, what defined all humans in the eyes of the aliens. As night fell, the shimmering ice cast a faint glow across the colony. Kai could hear the quiet hum of the crystals inside, pulsing softly in the darkness, and he felt a strange thrill. This was only the beginning, and already, he sensed that Frostoria held more than cold and danger. It held the chance to prove that humanity had something extraordinary to offer. The next morning, Frostoria was quieter than usual. The wind had calmed, leaving the landscape sparkling under the pale sun. Kai wrapped his coat tightly and stepped out, leaving a trail of footprints behind him. Today, he and Zara were to explore a hidden cavern rumored to contain crystals more powerful than any in the colony. "This place is dangerous," Zara warned as they approached the entrance. Her voice was calm, but Kai noticed a flicker of concern in her glowing eyes. "The ice shifts constantly. One wrong step could trap us." Kai nodded. "I've faced worse," he said, though the sight of the cavern made him tense. The jagged ice around the entrance seemed almost alive, glowing faintly as if aware of their presence. The cavern mouth was wide, with stalactites of pure crystal hanging like frozen daggers. Inside, the air was colder than outside, and every step echoed against the icy walls. The crystals embedded in the cavern walls pulsed with a soft light, illuminating strange patterns on the ice. Kai felt a strange warmth in his chest despite the cold. Something about these crystals felt alive, as if they responded to his presence. "Do you feel that?" he asked Zara. She nodded slowly. "Yes. The crystals, they respond to energy. I have never seen anything like this with humans before." Kai smiled faintly. "Maybe humans have energy too." As they went deeper, the light from the crystals grew stronger, casting shimmering reflections on the walls. At the center of the cavern, they found a crystal unlike any Kai had ever seen. It was massive, taller than both of them combined, and it radiated a soft blue light that seemed to shift in time with their movements. Zara stepped forward, examining the crystal carefully. "This is extraordinary," she said. "It is highly sensitive to emotion and thought. Some say it can amplify qualities of the being near it: courage, creativity, focus." Kai crouched to inspect the base. "So it reacts to what we feel and think. That's incredible." He glanced at Zara, noticing the faint shimmer in her eyes as she studied the crystal. It was more than scientific curiosity, there was awe there too. They spent hours adjusting their instruments and recording data. Every time they made a small discovery together, the crystal pulsed brighter, its light filling the cavern like sunlight through a window. Kai noticed that when they worked as a team, the energy seemed stronger, almost as if the crystal recognized cooperation and shared effort. Zara watched him closely as he tested the crystal's reactions. "You are different from the others," she said quietly. "Other humans I have observed often panic in harsh conditions. But you face the cold, the danger, without fear. It is unusual." Kai felt a warmth spread through him at her words, though he tried to hide it. I guess humans survive by learning to adapt. We don't always have a choice. The crystal pulsed again, brighter this time, and a faint hum filled the cavern. Kai and Zara paused, both sensing the change. The energy in the air felt alive, almost electric. It responded not just to thought, but to emotion. Their teamwork, their curiosity, even their mutual respect, seemed to make the crystal glow stronger. Suddenly, the ice beneath their feet trembled. A small crack formed near the cavern wall, sending shards of ice tumbling down. Kai reacted quickly, using a portable stabilizer to secure the area. Careful, he warned. The ice here isn't stable. Zara watched, impressed. Your instincts, they are unusual. Humans see danger and act immediately. Most of my species would hesitate. Kai smiled, brushing snow from his coat. Sometimes hesitation can be dangerous. Sometimes action is the only option. For the rest of the day, they mapped the cavern, taking careful notes and adjusting their equipment. The crystal's glow followed their movements, brighter when they worked together, dimmer when they worked apart. It was as if the crystal had a mind of its own, responding to the energy they shared. As night approached, the cavern became colder, and the shadows grew long and strange. Kai and Zara sat near the crystal, examining the data they had collected. The light from the crystal bathed their faces in a soft blue glow, reflecting in their eyes. It is more than I imagined, Zara whispered. The crystal not only reacts to humans, it learns from them. It grows stronger as you act, as you try. Your presence has meaning. Kai felt a strange thrill. So humans aren't just visitors here. Maybe we can make a difference. Zara nodded, her gaze fixed on him. Yes. I think the colony has much to learn from humans. Your courage, your persistence, it is rare. Kai leaned back, watching the crystal pulse softly. For the first time, he felt that Frostoria was not just a frozen, harsh planet. It was a place where humans could prove themselves, where their determination and ingenuity could shine. And perhaps, in the glow of the crystals, something more subtle was growing, a bond of trust, respect, and shared purpose between him and Zara. Outside, the snow continued to fall quietly, covering the world in white. But inside the cavern, the light of the crystal shone bright, responding to the small, stubborn human and the alien scientist who had chosen to believe in him. Kai knew this was only the beginning. Frostoria held challenges, dangers, and mysteries, but it also held the chance to show that humanity had something extraordinary to offer: courage, creativity, and the desire to endure against all odds. And for the first time, Kai felt that desire stirring, not just to survive, but to thrive. The next morning, the wind on Frostoria had grown fiercer. Snow whipped across the icy plains in thick sheets, reducing visibility to almost nothing. Kai and Zara prepared for another day in the crystal caverns, unaware that the storm ahead would trap them for days. This storm is stronger than usual, Zara said, adjusting the seals on her coat. Her pale blue skin shimmered faintly in the dim light, a sign of the cold reaching even her resilient species. We should proceed with caution. The ice may shift unexpectedly. Kai nodded, tightening his scarf. We'll be fine. We just need to stay together and watch each other's backs. They stepped out of the colony's main building, trudging through snow that rose higher with each gust of wind. Visibility was poor, and the landscape became an endless blur of white. Still, Kai moved with purpose, his human instincts guiding him over patches of ice and deep snowdrifts. Zara followed closely, impressed by his calm confidence. By the time they reached the cavern entrance, the wind had grown into a fierce howl. The ice underfoot shifted slightly, cracking in eerie patterns. Kai paused, examining the entrance carefully. "We need to be careful. One wrong step could trap us inside or worse." Zara nodded, her eyes scanning the shifting ice. "Agreed. Let's enter slowly." Inside, the cavern was silent except for the soft hum of the crystals embedded in the walls. The light they cast was warm compared to the storm outside, though it flickered as the wind rattled the surface above. Kai immediately began checking their equipment, reinforcing stabilizers, and monitoring the crystal's energy levels. Zara assisted, adjusting instruments and recording data. Hours passed, and the storm outside worsened. Snow slammed against the cavern walls, creating vibrations that made the ice tremble beneath them. At first, it was a minor concern, but soon, larger cracks began forming in the cavern roof. "Kai, the ice is unstable," Zara called, her voice tense. "We should move closer to the central chamber." Kai acted quickly, using portable stabilizers to secure their immediate area. "Hold on," he said, guiding Zara through a narrow passage deeper into the cavern. The light from the main crystal pulsed brighter as they approached, as if responding to their effort and determination. For the next few days, the storm kept them trapped inside. Kai and Zara survived on rations stored in the cavern, working together to maintain the equipment and protect the crystals. The confinement tested their patience and endurance, but it also strengthened their bond. Kai's human ingenuity allowed them to adapt to the harsh conditions, creating makeshift shelters and reinforcing weak ice formations. Zara observed closely, noting his resourcefulness and the way he remained calm under pressure. One evening, as they rested near the main crystal, Zara spoke softly. "Humans endure in ways we cannot always understand. You face the cold, the danger, without fear or complaint. Most of my species would struggle to survive even one day like this." Kai smiled faintly, brushing a patch of snow from his coat. "We survive because we have to. It's not always easy, but we find ways to keep going. That's what makes us human, I guess." Zara studied him, her eyes reflecting the crystal's glow. "It is more than survival. It is determination. And it is inspiring." Kai looked at her, noticing the quiet admiration in her gaze. Despite the storm, despite the danger, he felt a strange warmth in his chest. It wasn't just the fire of survival, it was something more subtle, a connection formed in shared purpose and effort. As they worked together over the next few days, the crystal began to respond in unusual ways. Its light pulsed stronger when Kai and Zara acted in unison, as if it recognized cooperation and trust. Each small success repairing a stabilizer, reinforcing a weak ice wall made the cavern brighter and warmer. One night, a minor collapse in a side passage tested their instincts. Kai reacted immediately, using his engineering tools to redirect falling ice away from Zara. She followed his instructions without hesitation, their teamwork seamless. When the danger passed, the crystal pulsed with a brilliance that left them both in awe. "You saved us," Zara said quietly, her voice tinged with something Kai could not name. "Your quick thinking, it is rare." Kai shook his head, brushing snow from his coat. "We saved each other. You guided me as much as I guided you." The storm finally began to subside, leaving the cavern peaceful once more. Kai and Zara emerged from the central chamber, tired but strengthened by the days they had survived together. The wind outside was gentler, and the icy landscape seemed almost calm. As they stepped onto the snow, Kai looked back at the cavern. The crystals glowed softly, a reminder of the trials they had faced and the bond that had formed between them. He realized that survival on Frostoria was not just about enduring the cold, it was about courage, trust, and the willingness to work together even in the most dangerous conditions. Zara's gaze met his, and for a moment, words were unnecessary. The respect and admiration they had for each other were clear, born from shared hardship and discovery. On this frozen planet, amid the snow and ice, they had learned that human determination could shine brighter than the coldest storm, and that trust and cooperation could awaken the power hidden within Frostoria itself. Kai smiled faintly, feeling the thrill of possibility stir inside him. This was only the beginning of what Frostoria had to offer, and he knew that together, he and Zara could face whatever challenges the icy world might hold. The storm had finally passed, leaving Frostoria's surface bright and still. Snow sparkled under the pale sun, and the air was crisp but calm. Kai and Zara returned to the colony after days trapped in the cavern, carrying their data and their stories of survival. Yet, not everyone welcomed them back with admiration. In the main hall of the colony, a group of alien researchers gathered. Their glowing eyes followed Kai as he entered. Whispers traveled through the room like a soft wind. Some murmured about the recklessness of humans, their fragile bodies, and their lack of endurance. Others were curious about the energy readings from the hidden crystal cavern. Zara stepped forward, her voice calm but firm. Kai's actions during the storm saved the cavern and protected the crystals. Humans may be different, but they possess qualities we cannot ignore. A tall alien, his skin a deeper shade of icy blue, stepped forward with skepticism. Different is not always better. We have studied this planet for decades. Humans are not built for Frostoria. Why should we trust one human to handle the dangers here? Kai met the alien's gaze steadily. I understand your concern. Frostoria is harsh. But we humans survive in harsh places. We face danger and adapt. That doesn't mean we fail, it means we find a way to succeed. Zara nodded beside him. Observe him. Watch his methods. The crystal responds not just to strength, but to courage and determination. Kai's presence has strengthened the energy fields in ways we could not achieve alone. The tall alien crossed his arms, still unconvinced. Words are not proof. Actions are. Kai's chance had come. Then let me show you. He turned to Zara. I volunteer to retrieve the second crystal from the lower ice caverns. It is deeper, more unstable, and has never been approached safely. A hush fell over the hall. The lower caverns were notorious even among the aliens for their dangerous ice tunnels and shifting crystal formations. Many had failed or returned empty-handed. Zara's eyes widened, but she did not speak against him. You understand the risk? She asked quietly. Kai nodded. I do. But if we do not attempt it, we will never know the full potential of these crystals. And we will never prove that humans can contribute meaningfully. The alien leader hesitated, then finally nodded. Very well. Proceed with caution. The colony will observe, but the responsibility is yours. Kai prepared for the journey, gathering stabilizers, sensors, and provisions for the trip. Zara joined him, carrying equipment and providing guidance. Their teamwork was seamless. The other aliens watched as the human and the alien scientist ventured into the icy depths, their every step a testament to trust and coordination. As they descended into the lower caverns, the light dimmed, and the ice formations grew jagged and unpredictable. Kai led the way, testing each step with careful precision. Zara followed closely, adjusting sensors and recording energy fluctuations from the crystals. "Careful," she warned as a section of the cavern above them shifted. "The ice is less stable here." Kai nodded, analyzing the formations quickly. "We'll go slowly. Safety first." He placed a stabilizer to support a weak arch, then guided Zara through a narrow passage. Each step required patience and careful thought. After several hours, they reached the chamber containing the second crystal. It was massive and unlike anything Kai had seen before. Its light was pale at first, but it pulsed faintly as they approached. Kai crouched to inspect it, running tests and adjusting his instruments. The crystal reacted immediately. Its glow brightened slightly as Kai worked, responding not just to his presence, but to his careful, methodical approach. Zara's eyes shone in amazement. "It responds to you, to your thinking, your focus," she whispered. Kai smiled faintly. "Then it knows we're working together, not apart." As they stabilized the crystal, small tremors shook the cavern. Ice shifted dangerously around them, but Kai remained calm. He guided Zara through reinforcing the structure, and together they managed to secure the crystal. Each action made the energy field pulse brighter, signaling success. By the time they emerged, the alien colony was waiting. The tall skeptic observed quietly, then approached Kai. "You succeeded," he said slowly. "Perhaps humans are stronger than I believed." Zara smiled, a hint of pride in her gaze. "Not just stronger. Their courage, their determination, their willingness to act under pressure, it is rare, and it inspires." Kai nodded, brushing snow from his coat. "We may be different, but that doesn't mean we cannot contribute. It means we can do things in ways others cannot imagine." The alien leader stepped forward, his tone approving. "The colony will consider your methods. Humans may yet have a place here, if they continue to prove their value." Kai glanced at Zara. Her eyes reflected the icy light of Frostoria, but also something warmer: respect, admiration, and perhaps trust. For the first time, Kai felt that human ingenuity had been seen and appreciated on this alien world. Outside, the wind was gentle, and the snow glimmered under the sun. Frostoria was still harsh, still dangerous, but Kai felt a thrill of possibility. Humans could make a difference here. They could survive, adapt, and inspire. And with Zara by his side, he knew the journey was only beginning. Together, they would face the icy challenges ahead, proving that determination and courage could shine even in the coldest places. Kai and Zara stood at the edge of the lower ice caverns, staring into a labyrinth of jagged tunnels that seemed to stretch endlessly into the frozen darkness. The air was sharp and cold, carrying the faint hum of distant crystals buried deep within the ice. This was the most dangerous part of Frostoria: yet unstable ice, hidden crevasses, and creatures that lurked in the shadows. "Are you sure we are ready for this?" Zara asked, her glowing eyes reflecting the faint light from Kai's headlamp. Kai tightened the straps on his pack and checked the stabilizers one more time. "We have to be. The next crystal is vital, and we need to see its full potential. Stick close, follow my lead, and we'll be fine." They entered the cavern slowly, each step echoing through the icy tunnels. Kai led the way, testing the ground with a small probe to detect weak spots. Zara moved behind him, adjusting energy sensors and recording data. The deeper they went, the more the light from the surface faded, replaced by the faint glow of hidden crystals embedded in the walls. Suddenly, a low rumble echoed through the tunnel. Kai froze, listening carefully. From the shadows, a creature emerged: tall, slender, with translucent limbs that glimmered in the crystal light. Its eyes were like frozen amber, and it moved silently but with startling speed. "Stay calm," Kai whispered to Zara. "They are more curious than aggressive, usually. We just need to move slowly and avoid startling it." The creature watched them, tilting its head. Kai slowly raised a stabilizer, pointing it toward the cavern wall instead of the creature. The light from the device reflected off the ice, casting patterns that seemed to distract it. After tense moments, the creature turned and slipped silently into the shadows. Zara exhaled slowly. "You handled that well. Most would panic." Kai shrugged. "Panic doesn't solve anything. Observation and careful action do." They continued through the twisting tunnels, encountering more creatures, each one testing their nerves and their strategy. Kai's ingenuity kept them safe. He rigged simple traps to redirect predators away, reinforced weak ice sections, and constantly adjusted their path to avoid danger. Zara was amazed at his quick thinking, noting how humans could adapt in real time, without hesitation or rigid rules. After hours of careful navigation, they arrived at a massive chamber. At its center, a crystal unlike any they had seen pulsed with brilliant light, radiating warmth despite the freezing air. The crystal seemed alive, its glow shifting in intensity as Kai and Zara approached. "It is beautiful," Zara whispered. The crystal's light reflected in her eyes, making them appear even more luminous. Kai knelt beside it, scanning its structure. "It reacts to movement, focus, and determination. The stronger our coordination, the stronger the energy output." He gestured for Zara to place the sensors around it. "Let's see how much we can amplify it together." They worked side by side, their hands moving in rhythm. Each adjustment, each small correction made the crystal pulse brighter. Kai noticed that when they acted as a team communicating without words, anticipating each other's moves, the crystal responded more vividly. It was as if the energy recognized cooperation and shared effort. Hours passed, and the chamber seemed to hum with energy. Kai and Zara laughed quietly when a small surge of light startled them, showing that even the most careful work had unpredictable results. But each success, no matter how small, reinforced their confidence. Zara looked at Kai, admiration shining in her eyes. "Your methods, they are unusual. Humans see patterns differently, take risks we wouldn't even consider, and yet you succeed." I have never seen anything like it." Kai smiled faintly. "We survive by adapting. That's what humans do. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but we keep trying." As they stabilized the crystal, a small tremor shook the chamber. Ice shifted above them, creating a cascade of falling shards. Kai reacted instantly, using a stabilizer to shield Zara and redirect the shards. She followed his guidance perfectly, adjusting sensors while avoiding danger. When the tremor passed, the crystal pulsed brighter than before, as if rewarding their skill and cooperation. "We did it," Zara said, a smile spreading across her face. "We not only survived, but we strengthened the crystal." Kai nodded, brushing ice from his coat. "That's what humans do. We face danger, adapt, and find a way to succeed. It's not about fear, it's about determination." The return journey through the caverns was tense but careful. Kai and Zara moved with practiced coordination, their trust in each other growing with every step. When they finally emerged into the daylight, the surface of Frostoria stretched out before them, glittering under the calm sun. The alien colony awaited, and this time, their respect was clear. The energy readings from the chamber had exceeded expectations, and it was obvious to everyone that Kai's ingenuity had made the difference. Zara turned to him, her eyes glowing softly. "You have shown them, Kai. Humans are not just visitors here. We can contribute, and we can inspire." Kai looked out at the sparkling snow, feeling a thrill of pride and possibility. Frostoria was harsh, unpredictable, and full of dangers, but it was also full of opportunities. And with determination, courage, and careful thinking, humans could thrive even here. As he and Zara walked back to the colony, Kai realized that this adventure was only the beginning. The planet held more secrets, more challenges, and more chances to prove that human ingenuity and persistence could shine brighter than the coldest ice. And for the first time, Kai truly felt that Frostoria was not just a frozen world, it was a place where humans could leave a mark, showing courage and determination to an alien species who had never truly understood them before. Kai and Zara stood at the entrance to the deepest cavern on Frostoria. The air was thin and cold, carrying a faint hum from the enormous crystal rumored to lie within. Unlike the smaller crystals they had seen before, this one was said to possess energy powerful enough to affect the entire region. Many had attempted to reach it but turned back in fear, overwhelmed by the dangers of the shifting ice tunnels and unstable formations. "This is it," Zara whispered, her glowing eyes reflecting the dim light. "The heart crystal. No one has fully explored it. Are you ready?" Kai adjusted his pack and tightened his scarf. "As ready as I'll ever be. Let's proceed carefully." They stepped inside, their boots crunching softly against the icy floor. The walls were covered in small, faintly glowing crystals, lighting the path just enough to see. The deeper they went, the louder the hum grew, vibrating through their bodies. It was a sound unlike any other, low and steady, almost like a heartbeat. Kai paused, feeling the vibration resonate within him. "It's alive," he said softly. "Not like an animal, but like it responds to presence and energy." Zara nodded. "It does. The heart crystal amplifies qualities: courage, determination, focus. It is drawn to beings who act with intent and care. That is why so many have failed. They acted in fear." The tunnels grew narrower, forcing them to move single file. Ice shifted occasionally underfoot, and Kai placed stabilizers along weak sections, ensuring their path was safe. Each step required precision, but Kai's human ingenuity guided them, anticipating danger and reacting quickly. Zara followed closely, recording energy readings and offering guidance where the ice was unpredictable. At last, they reached a massive chamber. The heart crystal stood at the center, larger than any building in the colony, radiating a brilliant blue-white light. The air around it shimmered with energy, and the hum intensified, filling the cavern with a vibration that made their bones tingle. Kai stepped forward cautiously, his eyes wide. "It's incredible." Zara smiled faintly. "It reacts to intent. Be careful. Focus on the work, not the fear." Together, they began placing sensors and adjusting stabilizers around the crystal. Every movement required teamwork. Kai's hands moved quickly but carefully, while Zara monitored the crystal's reactions. The light pulsed gently at first, then brighter as they synchronized their efforts. "Keep going," Kai said, sensing the crystal's rhythm. "It responds when we act together." Hours passed. Each small adjustment caused the crystal to pulse with increasing intensity. Kai noticed that when they made decisions together without hesitation, the energy seemed to amplify, spreading warmth through the cavern despite the cold. Zara watched in amazement, seeing firsthand how human determination and calm action could influence alien energy in ways her species had never imagined. Suddenly, the cavern trembled. Ice shifted along the walls and ceiling, sending shards falling toward them. Kai reacted instantly, using a stabilizer to shield Zara and redirect the falling ice. She followed his instructions precisely, placing sensors in key areas to stabilize weak points. The crystal responded, pulsing with brilliant light, as if recognizing their courage and teamwork. Kai crouched, adjusting a stabilizer near the base of the crystal. It's responding, to both of us, to how we work together. The more we coordinate, the stronger it gets. Zara stepped closer, her eyes reflecting the crystal's glow. It's not just energy. It's understanding. It recognizes intent, focus, and trust. Kai, your presence matters more than you realize. Kai felt a thrill run through him. He had faced danger before, but this was different. It was not just survival, it was connection, trust, and determination combining to awaken something extraordinary. Then let's make it stronger, he said quietly. Together, they guided the crystal's energy, carefully reinforcing its natural balance. Light spread outward, bathing the cavern in brilliance. Energy surged through the tunnels, stabilizing weak ice fields and illuminating areas that had been dark for decades. The crystal pulsed faster and brighter with each careful adjustment, responding not only to their actions but to their shared intent. When the final adjustment was complete, the heart crystal glowed steadily, a brilliant beacon of power. Kai and Zara stepped back, exhausted but exhilarated. The cavern was alive with energy, and the ice fields surrounding Frostoria were visibly more stable. Zara's voice was filled with awe. You have done something remarkable. Humans, you have a power that is more than physical. Determination, ingenuity, trust, it can awaken even the most ancient energies. Kai smiled faintly, brushing snow from his coat. We did it together. That's the key. As they emerged from the cavern into the pale light of Frostoria, the landscape seemed transformed. Ice fields that had shifted dangerously now held firm, glowing faintly under the sun. The wind was gentler, and the air seemed alive with energy. The alien colony watched their return in astonishment. The heart crystal's energy readings were off the charts, showing that Kai's ingenuity, determination, and cooperation with Zara had stabilized one of the most powerful forces on the planet. Humans were no longer seen as fragile visitors, they were respected partners, capable of inspiring and changing the world around them. Kai looked at Zara, her eyes glowing softly in the light. We made a difference, she said. Yes, he replied, feeling a deep sense of pride. And this is only the beginning. For the first time, Kai felt that Frostoria was not just a frozen world. It was a place where humans could prove their worth, leave a mark, and show courage, determination, and creativity to an alien species that had never truly understood them before. The colony's main hall buzzed with excitement as Kai and Zara returned from the heart crystal chamber. Energy readings from the crystal had reached unprecedented levels, stabilizing large portions of Frostoria's ice fields. Aliens from all around gathered, their eyes glowing with curiosity and admiration. Humans had been underestimated, but Kai's courage and ingenuity had proven otherwise. Zara stepped forward, her voice clear and commanding. Kai has shown us that humans are not just visitors. Their determination, creativity, and ability to act under pressure have strengthened our work in ways we never imagined. We must learn from them, not just observe. The crowd murmured, some nodding in agreement, others still skeptical but visibly impressed. The tall alien who had doubted Kai before stepped forward. His icy blue skin gleamed in the light, and his expression softened as he addressed the colony. What we have witnessed is undeniable. Kai has done what many of us could not. Humans are capable of more than we assumed. It is time to reconsider our perspective. Kai felt a mix of pride and relief. He had faced dangers that would have frightened many, yet here he stood, recognized not for sheer strength, but for intelligence, courage, and persistence. He glanced at Zara, who gave him a subtle nod of encouragement. Together, they had accomplished something remarkable. Over the next few days, the colony began integrating Kai's methods into their work. Human strategies for problem-solving, improvisation, and adaptation were studied and applied alongside alien techniques. Machines were adjusted using the approaches he had developed, and the energy from the heart crystal continued to stabilize the planet's ice fields. Kai worked closely with Zara, refining equipment and monitoring the crystal's energy. Their teamwork had grown stronger, based not only on necessity but on mutual respect. The crystal's pulsing light often reflected their presence, glowing brighter when they collaborated effectively. Each success reinforced the bond between human and alien, showing that cooperation could surpass the limits of either species alone. One evening, Kai and Zara stood outside the colony, watching the pale sun reflect off the snow-covered plains. The wind had softened, and the ice shimmered with a quiet beauty that seemed almost alive. "You have changed the way they see humans," Zara said softly, her glowing eyes meeting his. "Your courage and determination have shown them that we can learn from each other. That humans are not just survivors, but innovators." Kai smiled faintly, feeling a warmth that had nothing to do with the cold. "I didn't do it alone. You guided me, too. Without your knowledge of the crystals, I would never have succeeded." Zara tilted her head, a small smile forming. "Perhaps humans and aliens together are stronger than either alone. That is something I have learned from you." The colony continued to thrive in the weeks that followed. The heart crystal's energy was carefully harnessed to stabilize and improve Frostoria's ice fields, preventing disasters and creating safer pathways for the researchers. Kai's presence became a symbol of human ingenuity, courage, and adaptability. Other humans, inspired by his success, began arriving to assist with further research, showing that humanity could contribute meaningfully to alien worlds. One morning, Kai and Zara returned to the cavern where their journey had begun. The light of the heart crystal filled the chamber, casting long reflections across the ice. It pulsed gently, as if acknowledging their efforts and cooperation. Kai crouched beside it, brushing a patch of frost from the surface. "It's amazing," he whispered. "We've stabilized it, but it still feels alive. Almost like it's aware." Zara nodded. "It responds to intent, courage, and cooperation. You have proven that even the most ancient energy can be influenced by determination and trust. Humans have left a mark here, Kai. Not just on the crystal, but on Frostoria itself." Kai stood, gazing at the cavern's glowing interior. The long days of danger, cold, and uncertainty had led to this moment. He felt pride, not just for himself, but for all humans who might one day follow. Frostoria had been harsh, unforgiving, and beautiful, and it had tested every part of him. Yet he had endured, adapted, and inspired respect in an alien world. As they emerged into the sunlight, the colony waiting beyond, Kai realized something important. Humanity's strength was not only in physical endurance or intelligence, it was in persistence, courage, and the desire to make a difference. On Frostoria, those qualities had shone brighter than the cold, brighter than any crystal. The wind swept across the icy plains, carrying the sound of laughter, conversation, and excitement from the colony. Humans and aliens worked together now, building, exploring, and learning from one another. The heart crystal pulsed softly in the distance, a reminder of the power that could be unlocked when species united in purpose. Kai glanced at Zara, her expression calm but glowing with pride. "We did it," he said quietly. "Yes," she replied. "And it is only the beginning. There is much more to discover, and together, we will face it." Kai felt a thrill of anticipation. Frostoria was no longer just a frozen world of danger, it was a place of possibility, where determination, cooperation, and courage could change everything. Humanity had proven itself, and the future was brighter because of it. As the sun dipped low over the sparkling ice, Kai knew that the story of Frostoria and of humans on this alien world was just beginning. Their courage, ingenuity, and desire to endure had created a legacy that would inspire generations to come, proving that even in the coldest, harshest places, human spirit could shine brighter than any star.